Hey guys, welcome back to Weld.com. So today we're going to show you how to build a test plate fixture. So if you're an employer, you run a lot of D11 or D15 test plates or any of this sort, any plate with a backing, usually 1 inch for destructive test, 3 inch for radiographic testing. If you're running any of those, we're going to show you how to make a little jig to make life a lot easier. Welding instructors, this is another good project for you and your students. My buddy Don Watson showed me this when I first got into teaching, and I've built quite a few of them since then. So all you're going to need is like a small chunk of I-beam and then some shims that are the same thickness as the backing strip you're going to be using. So to start off, we're going to go ahead and find the center of our I-beam, and we're going to set these up here with a big enough spacing for our backing strip. So the premise is we'll get this set up here, and you can use whatever size I-beam that you want to use. We've got a couple little shims that we'll set on the side here. Your plates will then be able to, all this is going to get welded up. But essentially what you can do is set everything in place. Now all you have to do is worry about setting your gap. What this does, it allows you to use clamps so you can get nice tight metal on your pieces. So you can tack them up on the ends here, and then you're good to go. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is put my backing strip on there, center it up, and then just make sure everything is square. So I have a 7-inch I-beam, so with all these offsets and everything, I need 2 inches on either side. That's what I have. I'm squared up. I'm just going to go ahead and clamp these in place, pull out that backing strip, put a couple tacks on here. All right, so that's the top part. Notice that I didn't make any tacks on the inside here, and that's because that's where my backing strip's gonna go. And you should have a 1-inch gap in here, maybe a little bit of room for play, but not much. You don't wanna put a weld in there because then you won't be able to get your backing strip in. But essentially now that that's together, we can go ahead and affix our test coupons into position, set our gap, clamp it down, make our tacks, remove it, get the tacks on the back side, and then it's done. There's not a whole lot of movement around. This gives you the opportunity to hold everything in place and kind of get your spacing and your gap correct. Make sure you can still adjust this in and out for your run on and run off tab. So it just makes life a lot easier. Now likewise, this thing is, it's kind of like these gloves, dual purpose. This is like the mullet of the test fixturing. So with these gloves, I have TIG in the front, MIG in the back. Same thing here. I have destructive bend test on the front, and then on the back we're going to do plate setup for RT. So when we do radiograph or X-ray testing, that requires a 3-inch wide backing strip, 6 inches long, because they want the welds outside of the weld zone. So all the tacks that are going to go against your backing strip, they want that out of the weld zone. So we're just going to do the same thing. We'll put a couple of our shims in here, center this guy up, tack weld these in, and then we'll be good to go. Then we have our 3-inch side as well. So let's go ahead and tack these in. So obviously this piece is a little bit too short to be used as a backing strip, but it's the right width, but you'll get the idea here. I can now set my test coupons in place, set the appropriate gap, clamp it. Once again, obviously the run-on, run-off tabs of the backing strips can be much longer. We usually don't have the 3-inch backing strips because we do all bend tests here. But you get the gist. Clamp this in place, got my gap set, everything's good to go. Tack it up, flip it over, run the remaining tacks, and you're done. Appreciate you watching. Hopefully this helps some of you guys. Like I said, you can build this with any size I-beam that you want. The reason I like to use I-beam is because I can get a clamp up underneath there. So if you have a small section laying around just collecting dust, grab a few scrap pieces, tack this stuff on there. It'll expedite your process of tacking your test plates together. I want to give a shout out to Everlast for the 210 EXT. arc start on this thing is amazing. Another shout out to MCR for the mullet gloves. I don't think that's what they call them. Mustang sewn with Kevlar. But I mean, you got taking the front, making the back. It's pretty slick. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you learned something. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Questions, comments, concerns down in the comment section. And until next time, make every weld better than your last.